I have to be very good at protecting myself from somebody else's story, somebody else's message, or I just have to walk away from it and simply say, that's not my story. That's not my truth. When I first arrived here some 6 years ago, and it was in August, and everybody said, oh, you know, the summertime, everybody leaves. Nobody stays in the valley during the summertime. And I said, well, I'm here. So that can't be true. Everybody doesn't leave. Somebody's got to be here. So I'm here, and you're here, and we're showing up, and we're having the experience of life, and we're surviving this, and we're celebrating this. I lived on the coast for 32 years, moved here and discovered that at heart I'm a desert rat. I love this. The hotter it gets, the more I love it. This is a good place to be. If we take these words and we focus on them in a way that says we're going to allow wholeness into my life, it's different than trying to use the willpower. That willpower now willpower works. If you can hold your attention on something long enough and hard enough and not be distracted, you can attract that into your life. But don't you find that after you try to hold on to it for a long time, you kind of get tired and you get a little weary, and then you let go, and just as you're starting to let go, you go, no, I got to hold on to it again. You know, there are some people that hold on to it way too long. My ex-wife is still holding on to some things. You gotta let go, because it ain't gonna happen. Let go. Sometimes you gotta just release it. But if you want to hold on to it, you'll carry something with you. You'll carry it for a long, long time. And you're the one that will be in the pain and the suffering of it. Not the other person that you think you're wanting to influence. Unless, of course, they've allowed you to use their willpower over you. And this is what happens in so many kinds of relationships, and I'm talking more than just, you know, the relationship between individuals. I'm talking about relationships that we show up with our coworkers, and relationships that we have with our employers, and the relationship that we have with our government, and the relationship that we have with teachers and parents, and the relationship that we have country to country. We're holding on to some things that happened 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. People are holding on to stuff. No wonder they're feeling frustrated and angry and hateful. It's time to let go. It's time to release. The world as we have known it has come to an end. There is something new that is being awakened. There is something new that is being reborn. And it's right there within our consciousness. We are the ones. We are the people. We are right here, right now, in this place, in this consciousness, where nobody has ever been before. Right here, right now. We are transforming the world every time we show up together in agreement around truth. When we start to get into the details of what we think the truth is where we get into the confusion and the chaos. But if we return back to that place of the spirituality of knowing that the truth is that I'm whole, perfect, and complete. Just as I am, I love myself. Just as you are, I love you. If I can see the world in that wholeness and that perfection, then I can see beyond any condition, and I can bring forth the healing of anything physical, because the physical is all temporary. The physical is all what we created in mind. So if we go back to mind, if we go back to spirit, we can change all of that. We can recreate it. We can redirect it into a new form. It's like a river rushing to the ocean. This is how our life is. We are in a stream of consciousness, and this stream is moving into the ocean of life. And so there's times when this stream becomes like the willpower that we try to use. So there's these big thunder clouds up above the mountains, and they crash and they let all of the water come out, and the water fills up this stream, and this stream goes rushing to the ocean, and it's like this big willpower, and it starts moving trees and boulders and everything out of its way. It's got a direction. It's going straight to the ocean. That's willpower. But when the clouds move away, when the storm has quieted down, what's left is that stream of consciousness. And it doesn't use willpower. It uses non-resistance. It allows for itself. It allows to move down ever so gently. It allows to take the path of least resistance. That stream of consciousness that as it moves towards a barrier in one's life, or a boulder, or some condition that we don't know, then it just kind of like smoothly, gently goes around it. It's like the bend in the river, taking the path of non-resistance, so that it continues to move towards the ocean. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, says that in life we are forever moving forward in the upward spiral of life, that we cannot go backwards. Can you imagine what it would be like if all of a sudden the ocean started going backwards and the stream started coming back up the valley and climbing back up the mountains and was reaching towards the clouds? It doesn't work that way. Life moves in one direction. And if you allow that life to be the essence of spirit, if you allow that life to follow the path of least resistance, you can avoid the hate and the fear and the lack and the limitation. And you can be in the experience of great joy and wholeness and love and abundance. Each of these sensations brings us further into the experience of the eternal and the infinite, never fully reaching there. Otherwise, it wouldn't be infinite and eternal. We never really get there, because as soon as we're there, there's something more in the infinite and the eternal. When we finish this experience in this body, there's something that follows afterwards. I'm not sure how I know, but I just know it. I can feel it. I can sense it. I have experiences that tell me that it's so. I don't know what it looks like, and I'm in no rush to get there. I want to follow my stream of consciousness right where I am right now, to be in that presence. I want to have heaven on earth in this experience. And I know that I am. And I know that each of us has that experience. I know that sometimes we're not aware of it because we get caught up in the daily routine of being human. Resistance is the primary cause of human suffering. Acting unnatural, belief in lack and limitation, denying our intuitive sense, living in the belief of dual powers called good and evil, are just some of the ways that we live in resistance and suffering. Now's the time to let it go. Now's the time to move back into the natural state of who you are.